Good afternoon, everybody. This is Suzanne Dome, the author of Empty Space, with you again. Uh, had a quick idea a little bit ago, and was thinking back to the book club meeting, and one of the questions the girls ask me, and I hate this question with a passion whenever I meet someone and tell them that I'm an author, everyone always asks me, "Oh, what's your book about?" And I always freeze. And I wonder how many other authors do this. Uh, there's so many complicated ways to discuss this. The best thing to do, I think, is to tell people to just go read the book and find out for themselves. You know, the synopsis that you put on the back of the book when you self-publish or you publish with an agent in a publishing company doesn't always explain the depth of the different things going on in your plot line. So to sit there and ask an author, well, what's your book about, is probably the worst thing you can ask them. Um, you know, when somebody asks me that, and when these girls at the book club asked me, I found myself trying to explain to them, um, the complicated plot and how it was leading into two sequel books. And I lost them. They were just gone. Of course, they were pretty young too. But trying to delve into the uh, multifaceted nature of a plot line in a novel that has three or four different things going on all at the same time, that's kind of a difficult task, and it kind of stumps me a little bit. You know, it would be interesting to see what other authors have to say when they have the same question posed to them. I guess my thing now is I'm just going to tell people to go read the book and find out, because it's going to have a little bit different meanings. And this is where I want to bring up codex reading. Some people, I'm one of these people that when I read a book, it doesn't matter who it's written by, what it's supposed to be about, what the theme is, what the main characters are, if they're human or not human. I still find myself finding codexes in kind of in between the lines. I always read in between the lines. And when I was working on Empty Space, and it did take me 12 years to put this together, I really wanted to put some of those in between the lines in there for people. I wanted to make sure there was something in there that somebody would always identify with. And I guess if I had to define Empty Space, as to actually say what my book is about, my book is actually, my series is going to be about a transformation in point of view, and a transformation in how one views information. And the basic plot line is about a young woman, post-high school graduate, a girl who likes to read. I tried to make her as average as possible. She's not super pretty, she's not super smart, but she likes to read. And that actually gets her a job with some extraterrestrials, because she likes to read. So you'll have to excuse the barking in the background. The dog decided that she doesn't want to be quiet today. So I had to put in there that, there had to be some reason for her to be exciting to watch. And so when I started the book out, she's pretty immature. The first few pages, the first 90 pages or so, she acts like a high schooler. She's pretty immature. She's smart-mouthed. She's kind of mean. She's a little bit nasty. And she's pretty immature, goes off on tangents and gets upset about stupid things. So, and I wanted to show the transformation and the maturing of this young woman, because there's always that transition from when you're going to the high school age to the college level of a change in personality, a change in perspective, a change in how we view things. And I wanted to make that kind of apparent. I did write this and gear this more towards the college-aged student. It's not really meant to be young adult, though her age could construe it as such. I do cover some adult content in this story. And one of the themes that I wanted to put in there is, under extraordinary circumstances, how do ordinary people handle themselves? And she's an ordinary girl put in an extraordinary circumstance, kind of by her own choice. And I just kind of wanted to explore the adventure of um, what someone like that would do. You know, an average girl like myself, or like the girls I talk to at the book club, or like my friends, would do in a situation where they're put under these abnormally extreme circumstances and how they would react. Um, One of the themes that I like to explore a lot is, and I explore this with Empty Space, is the conspiracy. So at the very beginning of the book, I start my prologue with a little ancient alien twist. Um, that is one of the main themes throughout the entire series, is the ancient alien twist and how they've been tweaking us and messing with us, um, and how they're doing it through the whole galaxy, not through, this is a little teaser for books 2 and 3, how they're doing it through the whole galaxy and not just on Earth. Um, the other conspiracies I like to put in there, and I work this in with book 2, I talk a little bit about Roswell. I mentioned it at the beginning. When I designed my aliens, I wanted to bring forth the images of aliens that people have reported when they've been abducted. So I have little green men, and I have the humanoids, and I have hairy people, and I just have all these creatures that people claim to have seen when they've been abducted. These creatures that might explain some of our mythology. And yes, I did go back to some mythology for a lot of this too. Um, Joseph Campbell being a big inspiration. He was a great guy with great ideas about mythology and the way that they all enmesh into one another. Another thing that's hard to explain when you want to tell somebody about your book is you want to explain each character. But again, that's one of those things where you kind of have to gloss over and give them brief descriptions. And I find myself wanting to describe characters in terms of what they do, where they came from. But really, it's kind of deeper than that, because they'll have deep personality issues and post-traumatic stress issues. And so it's kind of hard when you ask an author, well, what's your book about? I think, especially as indie authors, to say, hey, well, it's about this. It's just not as simple as that. There's a lot of complications to it. And I really, rather than asking an author what the book is about, why don't you ask them where you can find it and then read it, and then discuss it with them. Friend them on Facebook, friend them on Google+. If they post YouTube videos, comment on their videos. So to me, that would be the thing to do, is just, the next time you meet an author, don't just ask them what their books are about and go, oh, okay. Go read their book. Go find out for yourself, because you might find yourself identifying with it in a different way than other people. And thank you very much. This is Suzanne Dome, author of Empty Space, and you have a great day.